Alrighty, good afternoon. So we are going to make these cute little bunny bags this afternoon, and these are called bunny treat bags. You can put little candies in them or little things for your sewing buddies, you know, just something fun. You could put some tea bags in there or little chocolate treats, whatever. You could even put an egg in there. These are made by Carolyn Fairbanks, and she has a website, and I'll put the link in the comment section down below. You will need 4 charms, 5-inch charms. So it's perfect if you have a charm square pack, just like this one. This is a Robert Kaufman called Penelope. Just took 4 out, and the back and front match on these. They don't have to match. You can mix them up and have fun with it. And you'll need a little bit of ribbon for it too. So what I have here is I have 4 charm squares, and what I've done is gone ahead and stitched. She has you make a little buttonhole in the middle of one of your charms here after you fold your edge down. I went ahead and did that. You don't have to do that on this one. I made my little channel here for the ribbon to go through, and I just snipped it in the middle with some snips. So you can do it either way. If you don't want to make a buttonhole, you don't have to. Okay, so she has a pattern, and what you're going to do with the pattern, she has a paper pattern, and basically you're going to trace your paper pattern, and it's going to round the bottom edges of the 2 charms. So you're going to put 2 charms together, the one with your buttonhole or where you're going to snip it, and you're just going to take some kind of device here. You could use a pencil, you can use a sew line, air erase like I have, a friction pen, anything will work. It's not going to show, so don't worry. You just don't want something that's going to bleed through on your fabric. Now we're going to stitch going 1/4 inch down this side here, across the bottom and up. We're going to leave this top edge open. Okay, I'm going to do that real quick. These come together so fast, you can make a bunch of them, and if you've got like a teacher at school that you need to make something for, you just kind of follow your curve around there. Okay. I'm going to snip off this little thread here. Okay, so what we've got now is we've stitched all the way around the edge, and I'm going to cut these corner seams like this. I'm just going to kind of follow that curve where I stitched. And if you want to, you can take a couple of little nips. Don't nip through your thread, just go right up to it. That'll ease it a little bit if you feel like you need to. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to take and use my thumbnail and fingernail and just press that little seam open right there. Let's go down a little bit further on that. I'll just go down like that. So I've pressed that open with my thumbnail. You don't need to press it with the iron, it's not that critical. Same on the other side. Just get that seam open. Now she has you finish off the edge and then turn it. I didn't think that was necessary, so I don't do it. But you do you, boo. If you want to finish it off and it's important to you, you do that. We're just going to fold this down a bit. We want to have enough fabric folded down so that whatever size ribbon we have, I just have some ribbon here, and so I want to make sure my channel is big enough for my ribbon. This ribbon's a little too big, but you want about 1/4 inch ribbon that you can feed through, but this will work. We'll make it work. So we folded that down. It's still inside out. I'm just going to crease this real good, and I'm going to leave this sit to the side while I make my bunny ears. So we're going to put right sides together of our fabric, and I'm going to take a ruler here, and I'm going to measure 2.5 inches, and I'm just going to draw a line in the middle. And then I'm going to put a little point in the middle of each one of these. I'm just eyeballing it, it's not critical. That's about 1/4 inch down, and then I'm just going to kind of draw some ears. like that, just the top of my ears. I don't need to draw all the way down because I'm going to use a 1/4 inch seam anyway, so I'll show you this when I get it done. This is just real rudimentary. She's got a nice pattern for you to follow if that's important. You can see I've just drawn these like this, and what we're going to do is we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch, and I'll show you. We're going to stitch a 1/4 inch away from our center line that we drew, and we're just going to follow that all the way up till it meets that line we drew for our ears, and then we're just going to follow the line for our ears. We're going to stop at the top, needle down, and then turn and go down the other side of the ear, and you just stay away a 1/4 inch away from the side of your fabric there. That's one. We've gone up and down, and we've left a 1/4 inch on each side, so you don't need to cut this apart. Just start from the center, 1/4 inch, go up, hit your point, needle down, lift your pressure foot and turn your fabric, and you're going to carry on down the other side. We've left the bottom open. We've stitched around each of these ears now. Now I'm going to cut this in half on my middle line that I drew. And again, I used an air erase, so it's a very light marking. You may or may not be able to see it in the video. And like I said, she has a paper pattern that you can follow, but you can see it. It's not difficult. Okay, so I've cut one ear. I'm going to do the other one. We don't need to worry about cutting the sides because they're a 1/4 inch, and we stayed a 1/4 inch away from the top. So there we have our ears. Our ears are done. Take some little snips, and just, you're going to want to snip into your fabric right there, just like that. Don't cut your stitch line. I know it's hard to see on mine. I probably should have used a black thread for you so you could really see it, but you get the idea. Here, you got it. And then we'll just nip that little point off. We're going to do the same thing on this one. We'll nip that little point. That just reduces some of the bulk in the tip there. And we're just going to snip, snip, snip around the edge. This will let us have a smooth finish on our little ears. Now we're going to turn our ears right side out. So these are easy to turn. You're not going to have difficulty turning these because it's a relatively easy piece. And then you can use a knitting needle, a skewer. I use a bamboo skewer, and you can just press those points out. Don't use the pointed end of your skewer because you don't want it to go through your fabric. But open all those seams up really well. And again, we're just gonna kind of finger press around. And go do this one too on this side. There we go. And I will turn my iron on over here and just give them a press. I'll be out of your visual range here for a second, but it won't take me long. And then we're just going to go ahead and push the other one through, and they're plenty wide enough for you to be able to get your finger in there to really, you know, open them up, so don't worry. Another thing that works really well is one of these. If you have a crochet hook, just get in there. They have a nice rounded tip, and you won't worry about poking your fabric, and you can just get in there and give it the business. Just really open. You want to open those seams out really nice. I got two little ears there, two little rough ears made. I'm going to give these a little quick press. We're going to look for our little buttonhole is on the front. So on the back side of our bag that we've made, we're going to tuck our ears right in there, okay? And I'm just going to put a pin right here in my ear through the bag to hold it in place, and then I'm going to put my other ear right next to it, And try to get them all the way up to the top of the seam there where you're gonna be stitching, to the top of your creased piece. Make sure that one's up. That could go up just a little bit more. And whatever fabric you decide to use, as you're looking at it right now, that's the part that's going to show towards the front of the bag. So if you're doing two different kinds of fabric and you want a particular fabric to the front, that's the part that's going to show on the front of the bag. And you'll see in a minute how that happens. We're going to stitch, and we're going to make a little channel. So we're going to stitch all the way around the top, close to the edge. And I'm going to start on the front here. And I'm just going to do a little seam. Don't worry if you don't catch your ears this time, you'll catch them with the second seam. So we're just going to stitch around that top. I'm going to go all the way around. I'm stitching about 1/8 of an inch seam here around the top. So you can see I've stitched around the top of this, very close to the edge. We're going to want to leave a channel wide enough for our ribbon. So I'm going to make a little mark here. So I've made a little mark that's lets me know I need to stay in that range so I don't mess up my channel. And I'm going to turn this inside out, or actually right side out right now, and so that I can stitch that channel and see it effectively. When you're sewing this one, you're going to catch your ears, so that, don't worry, your ears will be secure. I have pinned my ears inside, so I'm going to take my pins out now. And my ears are going to stick up outside of my bag. So I'm going to turn my bag right side out, and then my ears will stick out the top, just like so. And I think I'm going to pin these in place just to make sure they're staying where I want them. Okay, just like this. And I want to pin outside of the area where I'm going to be stitching because I don't want to stitch my pins. Now I can see my ears, and I'm going to stitch right along the edge there. And I'll show you as soon as I'm finished. I'm going to follow my same stitching line that I did the first go around, and that'll tack my ears so they're sticking up. There we go. Now I'll take my pins out, and we'll turn our bag right side out again. She has completely written instructions on her website, and I will give you a link to that so that you can go to her website and follow her instructions, but this is just how I make them, and they work out just fine. Okay, now we're gonna put our ribbon through. I'm just gonna give this a quick little press over here with a warm iron to straighten it out. I like to save ribbons when I get them, and then you never know when you're gonna want to use one. Now they have all kinds of things that you can use to thread through. An elastic threader will work. This is a needle that my grandmother had, and I use it all the time. It's wonderful. It's old, but works like a champ. Okay, and you can use a safety pin, a small safety pin to thread through there. And you're just going to want to kind of work along there and find your way through the seam that you sewed. I'm going to give this a little press again. It's nice and neat. And there we have it. So you can put your little treats right in your little bag there and cinch it up. And then give your little bow a tie. And you have the cutest little Easter present. There you go. Okay. Aren't those cute? They're so fun to make. You can have a whole basket full of those and full of treats. You could put a cookie in them. All kinds of things. Jelly beans. Yeah, it's good. All right, hope that was fun for you. We'll do some more. I'm going to be doing some charm square blocks again for beginners. I'll be starting on those tomorrow, and I have some cute fabrics here picked out. So this is a little charm pack that I had, so they look springy and great for Easter. So we'll do some fun blocks that you could make into a table topper if you want. So we'll do that. Before I go, a couple things. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. That helps us. It really does. This is American Patchwork and Quilting Magazine. This is their issue 189. And my friend, Tracy Souza, has her pattern in here for you. And she is just such a talented lady. She just does some really beautiful embroidery work. And so she walks you through this step by step, and she has her pattern in here for you. So I hope you'll go out and give this a look, and tell her I said hi, and get her pattern, because it's just darling, just darling. I'm gonna have to make it. Okay, I will talk to you soon. Bye.